not sure if I'm ready for it.
Hello, Internet. I'm Joe.
I'm Eric.
And I'm confused when Joe's asking if I'm ready to play.
And you're listening to Just Cool Enough, and this week we're sponsored by Cactus Cooler. Cactus Cooler, I guess it's only a Southern California thing, and it's okay.
What is Cactus Cooler?
It's a soda. It's orange and pineapple soda.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
we have a local company that does sodas or pop here, and it's called Faygo. Faygo.
I know of Faygo. I know.
Do you really?
Wow. Yeah, because Juggalos love Faygo.
Oh, god damn it! That's the reason you know about Faygo?
Yeah, Juggalos fucking love Faygo.
God damn it! That's just depressing. I'm like, oh wow, you might have heard of Rock and Rye. You're an awesome dude. But no, it just has to. God damn it!
No, it's not.
What's
I heard that's amazing.
Brand?
It's like I heard that Juggalos fucking love Faygo.
God damn it! Just stop saying that. I hate that.
I mean, they do.
Do they though? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Faygo always.
They really do.
Who told you?
Don't you know anything about Juggalos? I mean, Jesus.
I don't. I think they're like atheists or something.
No, they're a gang according to the FBI.
And they love Faygo. That's their profile. So anybody with Faygo is a gang member.
Joe, I want to say that I'm slightly angry at you.
Why? What did I do?
For getting my girlfriend's hopes up, Joe.
Why? What did I do?
And dashing those hopes.
Well, that was like years ago, Ike. I asked her out. You were like, Joe, stop. You're imposing. That was years ago.
So we're sitting there getting ready to eat dinner the other night, and then up pops on her phone because mine's in the other room. Are you ready to play? She looks at me. She's like, "Why is Joe asking if we're ready to play?" I'm like, "I don't know. I don't have my phone on me." She's like, "Oh, are we gonna play D&D? Are we playing D&D?" I'm like, "I don't know. I haven't looked." So I get on there and I'm like trying to scroll around and figure out what the fuck you're talking about. And then I scrolled up and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna play Don't Starve together." I'm like, "Nope, not D&D." She's like, "Oh." I'm like, well, we could play Don't Starve together, and I showed her. She's like, I don't really get the point of it either. I'm like, I've seen the trailers. I don't understand. I don't understand those fancy games.
You run around trying not to starve, and usually failing.
But you're doing it together.
And you hear Sarah say the word beefalo a lot.
Yeah, beefalo are very important to our survival. They
gotta
have
find the beefalo. Has anyone found the beefalo? I need more stones so I can build farms with these beefalo.
She was barking out orders like some sort of military commander.
Yeah, I was like, she knows what the fuck she's doing.
She does though.
As a public servant and a teacher, and also being in the same house and in a relationship with a teacher, Don't Starve Together is pretty much my real life. So I fail to see the appeal of wanting to play real life. It's like Second Life, or Third Life in this case, on the internet.
Second Life? Do you want to play Second Life with me, Ike? So I guess I never thought of it that way. Like, playing Don't Starve. Like, people play that game every day.
Yeah,
but
yeah, most of the world plays that game. It's just we don't have to.
Yeah, we actually have to.
First world problems.
We have to pay $20 and get a gift copy and play with other people.
I paid $5.
Yeah, I paid $5 too. I don't know.
Like
I was thinking about getting it, but I have to pay $20 now.
Yeah, sucker. Somebody has an extra copy that's laying around, I'm sure.
Tish said he did.
Oh, yeah, Tish is in our Don't Starve clan. Maybe he can give you... We have a clan now. It's way harder. Playing that game is way harder with more people.
Is it like Diablo? Like, the more people, the harder it gets?
No, well, in a way, because not that like things are harder when you add more people. It's just like there's only so many resources. There's only so much just like food lying on the ground, like berries and carrots and stuff, and they take a while to respawn. So the more people you have, the less of that there is to go around. So then you have to start like finding better ways of finding food and hunting, like catching rabbits, which aren't.
Are you forced to share?
No.
No, you know. I mean, but you want your group to survive, so I mean, there's that.
The point is if you're all working together, hopefully you won't starve.
We did it so shitty yesterday, though. So like, this is our pillow talk. Sarah and I were like sitting there in bed looking at each other, like, if we would have split up into 2 different groups, we could have been a lot more efficient. Yeah, we should at least do 2 groups next time, and one could go one way, one could go the other. And yeah, oh yeah, and we're like, all right, good night, babe, good night, mwah, mwah. And then we like fall asleep and just in our little
Dream about
dreamland.
not starving together.
Yeah, we're dreaming about Don't Starve. But yeah, she's like, okay, so this is what's happened. Like, I bought the game for her just because I like getting into games here and there. But she goes through these phases where she'll play them like super hardcore. And anyway, so like all the time she's like, hey, you want to play Don't Starve? I'm like, well, I kind of am busy doing this other stuff. She's like, you want to play Don't Starve now? I'm like, I'm just not ready. Wait, you gotta get. So it's like the opposite. I'm like, you gotta get me in the mood, babe. Like,
So,
so
you're the lady and she is the man who wants sex all the
she's
time.
like, you ready? You ready? Don't starve. I'm like, no, I'm perfectly full. I don't want to starve. I'm good. Can you just like get off of me, please? Stop dry humping my leg. I'm just like, I'm sorry. I just don't feel. I'm not in the mood. It's not me. It's you. I mean, it's not you. It's me.
It's not me. It's definitely you. You want to play
you.
Don't Starve, and I don't.
So how about you play Don't Starve and take your pants off, and I'll play my game, and you play yours, and everyone will be happy.
I have a game called. Never mind. So, so I was like, I used the analogy. I'm like, oh, I don't want to play like a pre-release game because it sucks. Like, you get into pre-release, you see all this stuff, and then there's no like special like Christmas morning feeling when the game's done and like the developers are ready for you to come play it. So I was like telling her, I'm like, it's like on those home renovation shows when you when like the people come back early and they ruin the surprise for people. Like you want to be surprised. She's like, it's not like that at all, Joe. Your analogy's terrible. It's like they're just redoing the basement, and you don't have to go down there if you don't want. But I need to go down there for stuff.
No, Don't Starve Together is like because Don't Starve's a full game. Like I like it's a full game that's out and you can play it and it's great. But this was just like, hey, what if we had multiplayer to that?
What if we just made people pay it?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that they're going to add more to it, but more because adding more characters to it in multiplayer adds inherent challenges to just the gameplay. So they're fixing and changing and adding stuff. But yeah, the base game already fully exists. Like that's when I stepped in, I was like, this is exactly like Don't Starve. It just there's more of us.
It adds a different dynamic, I think, though. It makes it like instead of just being put out there in the wilderness, it's like a terrible plane crash, and then there's just a few survivors.
Your analogies are horrible. I don't understand what that has to do. Yeah, Don't Starve. It's got multiplayer, so it's like when a bear like rips your face off, but then fucks you. It's like what?
No, seriously. It's like I was just imagining the scenario because you just appear through this gate and you're like, all right, don't starve. And I was like, well, how would we end up in this?
It's like a high school teacher staff meeting at the end of a day when everyone's super hungry and there's only like 4 crackers that somebody brought in and there's 12 of you and you all want to eat the crackers.
Well, and there might be...
Is that a bad analogy or a good analogy? I'm confused.
Somebody might have bought donuts and left them in another room, but you don't know. You'd have to go to that room, and if you go to that room, you miss out on the crackers. So, and that might be across the hall or...
And then what about the rabbit?
Yeah. But it's...
Eric, you taught me some shit yesterday, though.
Even when you jump in on analogies, Joe, you ruin them.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But with Don't Starve Together, it's the same as Don't Starve, because Don't Starve starts with you waking up in a field and the devil being like, hey, how's it going? Don't starve, bye. And that's the story of the game.
I need to know my what's my motivation in this game?
Don't starve.
So what are you trying to do in the game then?
Mostly not starve to death.
What about your health though?
I mean, that's good too, but if you starve, your health goes down. So don't starve.
Yeah, it got hectic. We all died. It was great.
Several times.
At least 3, maybe 2.
The only thing I didn't enjoy is when they added, because it's multiplayer, when you die, you're a floating ghost and you can be resurrected through special means, which is awesome. But when you're exploring the map as a ghost, it doesn't reveal it on your mini-map, which sucks. I was like, oh, I went all the way out here, and now I don't know where I am because it's just a blank thing. It's blank on my map, and I have to figure out which direction to go now.
That's what happens when you play Don't Starve.
It's good.
So what's been going on in your lives, guys? Anything good this week?
I went to game night Monday, and that was fun. Like I finally got to play. Kyle's had this game last night on Earth, which I wanted to play for a while. I think they played it on the first season of Will Wheaton's Tabletop, and it looked really interesting. It's a zombie game, and Kyle's had it for a long ass time, like months and months and months. But I guess they played it once when I wasn't there, and he didn't quite enjoy the experience. So we never want to play it, and so we finally fucking got a chance to play it, and I was like, yay! So that was pretty awesome. I was excited for that. I was like, let's play this.
I don't care about your board games, Eric. I want to know what's going on in your lady life because you're chasing that woman.
Nothing.
Or just your just cross-dresser lady life. You know, whatever's more interesting.
Again, both nothing. Yeah, lady life, things that I would talk about off camera. You know?
Well, I have to say, your hair does look like you're ready to go see some ladies or something.
Well, there will be ladies. It's a practice from my improv group, and there's 2 ladies in it, so I guess, you know, but
that's good. Yeah.
It just happened I just took a shower and combed my hair because I'm leaving the house.
Looks good, dude.
Thank you.
It does. When he came into the call, I was like, "Who's that handsome man?" And I was like, "Oh, that's Joe." And then I was like, "Oh, look at Eric. Look, that's good too. He has a nice haircut."
Eric's not that bad either.
Ooh, wait, I got a haircut.
I can't tell. You're too close to the camera.
Well, last week it was like, and like sticking out from around the. Whatever, Joe.
Every week.
I thought you paid attention. I thought you liked the way you don't even notice when I change.
Every week your hair is like bizarre. I didn't like if they're like, "Hey Joe, gun to your head, what is Ike's hairstyle?" I would say different. I wouldn't know what to say. It's just like like one day you come in, it's like a camel licked the side of your head. And like it's like just sticking up all weird, and the next day it's like combed and looks good, and then the next day it's like buzz cut, and then very next day after the buzz cut, you got fucking scraggly hair.
Weird like wizard, homeless wizard look going on.
Yes.
And I was like, it was Sunday. I was like, fuck, I've been meaning to get my hair cut, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to my usual place, but it's Sunday, so they might not be open. And I get over there and they're not open. I'm like, I guess I will like drive around Fall River trying to find an open place because that's always a good idea to do on Sunday. And I happened to pass by this little place that had the open flag, had the open like window light, but the hours on the side of the window said like closed on Sunday. So I was like, oh, I guess I'll go in and like try it. And I go in there and everyone's speaking Spanish. And I sit down, the guy tells me to be with me and 2 people, so I'm sitting there waiting for like an hour and a half to get my hair cut. And
they just keep like
I'm the
not
only one
you.
in the shop with this guy. And I mean, he's a very nice guy, but the first thing he's like, welcome to the shop. He's like, it's nice to meet new people. Make yourself at home. If you want to change the televisions, you can change it to whatever channel you want. We have no drug dealers here. And I was like, He's like, no, really, we have no drug dealers here, so you're totally safe here. No drug dealers. He's like, because he's like, I would fucking kick him out. I fucking hate drug dealers. And if there is a drug dealer here, I think they're a drug dealer, then I charge them fucking twice the amount. I'm like, now this guy's like going off.
Well, I will say, sometimes you do look like a cop.
You do look. Not only do you, sometimes you look like an undercover cop pretending to be a drug dealer.
Fuck,
so
I gotta go. Thanks for blowing my cover. Yeah. I've been saying I was a teacher this whole time.
I've been doing this show for 7 years now. It's all an undercover sting. I'm an FBI agent trying to get into this cartel, and you blew it. You finally blew it. My name's
we
not
had
even
suspected that Eric might be pushing something, but we were trying to get close to him, and you fucking blew it, Joe.
I'm sorry.
I'm so socially awkward.
Joe.
I'm so socially awkward. Ike has spent the last 8 years trying to get close to me. Finally starting to make headway.
It really started back at that BlizzCon when I got to sleep on the floor in the same room as Eric. I was getting pretty close to him. It was close.
Really good, guy. It's really good. Hey, guys, we got a new listener. I'm going to point it out because that's the kind of person I am. They found us on YouTube, though, so something's different about that because nobody ever finds us on YouTube. And they had a comment. His or her name is Brickenstock, and it says, just found you guys. Looking forward to seeing more podcasts. Well, you don't have to look forward to it. You should look behind. We have a backlog of 272 of these. Enjoy. You'll be bored in minutes. So.
Wow, Joe. We finally get a new listener in like 20 years, and what's the first thing you do? You say that he's going to get bored and leave us in 2 minutes.
If he replied on a YouTube video, that's a listener for life, as far as I'm concerned.
Joe's
I guess
like,
I can talk about one of the things I can talk about is my new dog, which I couldn't talk about last week.
Oh, you
have
got
a new dog?
puppy!
I didn't even
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah, you did. Don't you pay
I'm
attention?
trying to play the part.
Okay. Oh yeah, you got a new dog.
Yeah,
Oh
we
my
got
gosh.
about 2 weeks ago. We went to a pet shop where they do adoptions and stuff. My mom found this dog she liked because ours passed away. And she really wanted to get. At first, she was like, when our dog died, she was like, "I'm never getting a dog again." But then after like 2 months, she was like, "I miss having a dog." And we were able to. They let us do what they call foster to adopt, where you basically take it home for a week and see if you like it.
It's called a test drive.
And the dog, like, immediately when we got home, just started following my mom everywhere she went. And then, like, within 20 minutes was sitting on her lap. I was like, well, I guess we got a new dog. So it took, like, 20 minutes for us to realize that it's our dog.
What type of dog is this?
It's
It's sitting on her lap, so it's got to be. I mean, it might be a puppy, but it's got to be small.
No, it's not a puppy. It's apparently, like, about 3 years old. It weighs 6 pounds. They say it's a Chihuahua mix, but we think it's probably a Dachshund Terrier mix because it's got really, like, thin, like, long legs and, like, wiry hair, and it's skinny as fuck. But it was funny because, like, we did the test drive. We paid for the dog. We had the dog for a week. Then we adopted it on the next Saturday. It was great. But my sister, like, my mom didn't want to tell her about it, so we were trying to keep it a secret, and we almost
Was
did.
that because you want to keep it secret, like to give it to your sister?
No, it's
You want her to know, or like it was under the table because your sister would be angry if she found out you had a dog.
No, I think it was my sister really was like pushing for my mom to get another dog immediately, and my mom like didn't want her to know because she didn't want my sister to pick the dog because like our last dog Missy who passed, even though my sister wanted the dog, my mom picked the dog because she was like, I know I'm gonna be the one taking care of it, so I'm picking the goddamn dog.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so she didn't want my sister to be like to like take her there and then pick the dog for her, like, because I mean I didn't like I went with my mom to pick the dog, but I didn't really give my 2 cents much because I knew it's not going to be my dog. I'm not going to take care of it all that much. I'll pet it occasionally and play fetch or something, but I'm not gonna take it for walks every day and make sure it doesn't die of starvation. So I have very little influence. Because if it were up to me, I would have gotten. There was a nice dog. He's kind of a medium-sized dog. His name was Leonardo, and he had a bandana. And I was
Ooh,
like,
cool.
that's a great dog.
That's the dog.
Was it a blue bandana?
No, it was red.
Oh.
Was it Donatello?
No,
It's purple.
that was Raphael was red. You dipshit. But yeah,
I was wondering if there was a purple one with a stick.
Its name is Leonardo.
Yeah. Well, I could get
Donatello
a blue
does
bandana.
machines, Ike.
Yeah, he does. That's true. But we tried to keep the dog a secret until my mom was on the phone with my sister because my sister calls my mom like 8 times a day, and the dog started barking at something. And my sister wasn't drunk at the time, so she actually paid attention this time to the dog
Like your
barking.
sister only calls your mom
That
when
dog seems like it's really, really close. Yeah, I know. It's outside the door. It's really weird. We're trying to get it to go away.
this dog's just been inside the
Send
building.
your brother out there to beat it with a stick.
Yeah, so now my sister knows about the dog, so I can actually talk. Like, not that she would watch this podcast, but I figured, better safe than sorry.
Yeah, one time.
Loose lips sink ships, Eric. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good of you.
So it's nice. But now it's funny because now my sister comes home next week, and she's like super excited to see the dog. And like she normally like the cat is her cat, and she's always like, oh, how's my cat? She doesn't care about her cat anymore, I guess. I'm like, I guess the cat is mine now because the cat loves me now. It's my cat now.
So-
And I got a new IKEA chair. You probably can't see it. It's kind of behind me at the moment.
Is
Really?
it-
It's behind you? I would argue it might be under you.
No, it's not because it's kind of
that
more of a loungy sort of chair. Lean back.
Is that just purely for masturbation purposes?
No, it's for like watching TV.
Like I said,
Of porn. Well, master.
TV porn. Yeah.
No, I was just thinking I was tired of sitting in this kitchen chair when I'm sitting
The other
there.
one's just too sticky. Every time we get up, he's like,
Oh God. Oh God. You went there.
That joke was so terrible. Your camera went out of focus just because it couldn't take
did.
it.
I know, but I was
think
trying
when
to
you
top
made the.
Joe's bad analogies. I had to make something that was worse. I just wanted to blow it all out.
I think you did like the. You made the noise and then like you got spit all over your camera.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Wow,
No, but now I can feel like I'm anonymous. I can be like, can't really tell who I am.
This is the episode where you wear no pants.
It's about Isaac the Dream journalism.
Ike Gate? I don't know.
Yeah.
So I've been trying this new service called Blue Apron, which makes me an awesome chef. This sounds like an ad, and it's not an ad.
Wait, let me guess really quick. Do you order the food, they send it to you in a box, and you have to cook it?
Yeah! Oh my gosh, it's like you heard of it or something.
Actually, I haven't heard of that one, but similar
There's other
services out
services
there.
exactly like
What?
that.
Yeah, so I did that, and now I'm a master chef. I was like, wow, I'm so good at cooking stuff now, I'm going to make tuna salad this week. I didn't even use a Blue Apron recipe. I was just like, I'm going to chop the celery. I'm going to do this right, guys. Here's some onions. Boom.
He's
Delicious.
so pro now, he doesn't even need the pre-made recipe.
I know, right? Like, it's just brought me to a whole other level of culinary art. But, like...
I was thinking about trying that, but the thing I have, like, I like vegetables, and my girlfriend doesn't. So I feel like they're going to show up and then have, like, here's your vegetables for your side, and then she'll eat the meat, and we'll have a shit ton of vegetables, and I won't eat them all. So we'll just be stuck with a lot of vegetables. I mean, do they give it, like, a lot of food?
Well, Blue Apron, I've only had it 3 times. They deliver on Thursdays, so next time we talk, I'll have 6 of them, which will be great. But I mean, you can kind of select your dishes on this one. So you're like, I don't want any fucking shellfish. Get those out of my face. But I do like poultry and meats that are red. So you can kind of select what you want. But the thing is, like, the instructions are like pretty good. I've only like fucked things up, and the things I have fucked up haven't been that bad. So I'm like, wow, this isn't too bad. Sarah's like, Joe, did you forget to toast the? I'm like, yeah. Make sure you toast those. Okay, hold on. So she's sitting there on the couch, and I'm slaving away in the kitchen.
Sauce on a raw chicken breast, and you're like, I'm a master chef!
Just dropping pieces of chicken on the ground and picking them back up, and this one's still good.
Not to mention walking through the chicken juices on the floor, just checking it all around the house.
The cat's like rolling around inside salmonella pools. It's bad. No, I was actually taking some pictures and video and stuff, and I was thinking I'll maybe put some original content up there on this site one of these days about my experiences with Blue Apron. But so far so good, and well, look, I actually already have a file that I'm working on, so because of my iPhone, it'll be really easy to publish. Yeah. So anyway, Blue Apron. Have you guys thought about trying any one of those though?
No. I mean, I don't cook much. I like baking, fine, but I don't have to. Like I'm just too late. I mean, if I were cooking for somebody, like if one day in the far distant future a woman lowers her standards enough to ever date me, then I will totally be like, hey, I'll cook something for you. But at the moment, it's like, who gives a fuck?
So Eric, when the sad day comes that your mom bites the dust, are you going to be able to cook for yourself? You can bake, or are you just going to have pie all the time?
I mean, I could cook for myself, but I would if I'm by myself, I wouldn't. I just Red Baron frozen pizzas and cinnamon toast crunch, fucking because why bother?
That's how. When I lived in the hills of Kentucky, that's how I lived. I was like,
yeah,
it's still illegal to eat even if you have 6 of them, right?
Why would I want to spend half an hour preparing a meal when I just throw a Red Baron pizza in the microwave for 2 minutes and 30 seconds and then go back to playing World of Warcraft or whatever the fuck I'm doing,
That was perfect. So that time in my life when I moved, like Sarah moved back to Michigan, I moved down to Kentucky. It was really good timing because that was the exact month that SWTOR released, and it took up all my time. I had like max level characters. I was end game raiding, and that's exactly how I ate. I'd go get some lunch meat. On Fridays, I would stop at the frozen yogurt and Pizza Hut and get a veggie pizza, and I'd just sit up in my room and mind my own business, and the rest is history. But yeah, dude, I feel you. Like, why waste time doing cooking stuff? But now there's something awakened inside of me. I'm just like, oh wow, this is actually really fulfilling. I enjoy cooking these things and making this, especially because it's really hard to fuck it up as long as you separate out the ingredients and eventually all make them into the same general vicinity on the stove. Like they'll cook, and then you could make things for yourself and others that are way better than fucking shitty pizza. So I don't know if I'll be able to go back, like, ever. Even if I was like living on my own for some reason, some awful thing happens, and I still think I'd subscribe to the service. I was actually thinking about doing this, like subscribing to food services, like so I can get something every day of the week, because they only like deliver on Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. I picked Thursday, so a couple days.
The one on Saturday.
Yeah,
you
like
find one that delivers on like Tuesday.
Yeah, I need one that delivers on Monday and Tuesday, so then like the whole week's just ready to go.
Well, and then you'll have one day a week where you won't have it. That'll be date night where you can go out to eat.
No, that'll be the week we starve. It brings us close. We don't starve together. That's what we need to do. So I don't know. I'm willing to try more of them though. I want, like, I'm gonna get everything just shipped to my house so I never have to go to the store again. I already get like razors sent to me, and I don't have to leave the house for anything because of Amazon. But there's gonna be no reason for a supermarket near me. Just as long as I'm close enough to a distribution center at some point, I'll be okay. Airdrop and shit on drones. I don't even need a front door.
They might not be dropping on drones. They're talking about putting stuff into place where drones won't be able to fly that far. So like whole Amazon thing might actually crumble underneath there.
What? Why?
The government, it's like they're thinking about putting things in place where if you're a professional drone flyer, then you're only allowed to fly at certain heights at certain times of the day, only within eyesight. Otherwise, if it goes out of eyesight, then you can't fly it, and all this other bullshit. So it would put a stop to Amazon stuff.
I think we should start
feeling like their privacy's invaded.
That's a nice transition into a story that we haven't talked about. That came out in February that we still haven't talked about. Apparently, there's. I mean, we all know like currently there's not a lot of regulation on drone piloting and stuff like that, and where they can and go for private and personal use. But apparently, ad companies are really interested. Like, imagine a world with real-life pop-up ads where you're walking down the street and a little drone buzzes by your face. It's like, hey, buy Skittles, man!
Like a fucking bouncing Betty, it pops up from the ground with Skittles.
No, it wouldn't have Skittles. It would just have like a tiny little video screen, or just would say, buy Skittles. Like it would go around your head going, buy Skittles, buy Skittles,
why does
buy
that
Skittles.
sound like some like future
You have to like
movie?
You have to like You have to have like the Skittles app on your phone and tell it, yeah, I saw your drone before it'll fly away.
It just pesters you into downloading its app for.
Yeah.
Wow.
Download the Skittles app to make me go away! Or buy Skittles! Buy Skittles! If I watch you buy Skittles or download the app, I'll disappear!
That would suck. That would absolutely suck. As long as the ads were tailored to me, though, I can deal. Just all day long, it would be car ads.
Hey Joe! You like cars! Buy a car! Buy a car!
Well, why does it have to have that voice? This is awful.
Buy a car! Buy a car!
That'll come in the other voices. All the other voices got rejected by the.
Hey, listen!
I would walk around with like an electromagnetic pulse cannon and just fuck those things up. I would
It's just too bad that those don't exist and these ad robots do.
What are you talking about? All you need is, okay, this is how you solve the problem. You get a car battery and you disassemble a microwave. What's the worst that can happen?
You'll die.
No, you just don't
and you'll
win
kill
it.
others.
Well, others, maybe, as long as you're not in front of it. You see, I mean,
most likely you'll kill yourself with electricity.
No, come on,
I don't see a scenario where you grab a car battery and a microwave and go into your garage that doesn't end with Sarah crying at your funeral. I don't see any scenario.
Joe died doing what he loved, touching a microwave and a car battery together.
Yeah. Well, here we go.
Joe, what are you doing? She's like sitting there like doing laundry or something, trying to stop me, but I didn't let her. I needed You know, like my motto is like fail early and often. So I figure this is just another one of those things I gotta try.
Die early and of heart disease.
That's my
He'll be
other
out there with
motto.
his pacemaker and his electromagnetic thing. He'll be like, hey,
Just ruining. What? Do you have any other better ideas? We should go into drone defense contracting. Like, this is going to be a big thing. People don't want drones flying over their estates. We could shoot them down. We could get a bunch of small, tiny drones and just ram them into the other drone, or shoot them with a gun. I guess shoot them with
like
a gun.
skeet shooting. You're like,
You're right. Taking a car battery and a microwave is too dangerous. Let's just run around with firearms and open fire into the sky.
It is. I mean, it has to come down somewhere, but at least that somewhere isn't where you are.
Yeah.
Unless you
Let's
shoot
just
a
go
shot.
around rich neighborhoods carrying automatic and weapons and shotguns and just open fire on anything we might think is a drone.
We can call it the Purge Enterprises.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if we're gonna go all whimsical and totally out of whack with this one, let's just find a way to stop the Earth from rotating so we can reduce gravity. So that way, when we fire the bullets, they don't have to come down anywhere. They'll just keep going.
Well,
No, then we're gonna have to
stop. We'll immediately stop the Earth from rotating, and then everyone on the planet would die of the force of crashing into whatever. The
No,
force would kill all life on the
Only
planet.
if you stop it immediately.
Right.
You can
This is
gradually
what, okay,
slow
so
it down.
whoever stopped the Earth, we can solve the problem. We have to drill down to the core and
You
shoot.
do know that gravity doesn't exist because the world is spinning, right? It's an entirely. We're not held down with centrifugal force. Gravity's a different thing. It's
No.
mass.
But what I'm saying is, if you just stop the Earth, everyone will fly off of it. Because not because gravity stops, but because we are moving so fast that if you
So
stop
wait, like
the
you're
Earth,
talking like emergency brake for Earth. Like you
Yeah,
press the button,
it would kill all life on the
we
planet.
would all smash into things. We would all smash
Yeah.
into each other.
so
Well-
I'm saying if we slow it down slowly,
Casually, just casually
Casually.
slow down the Earth.
then you wouldn't have to worry about people flying into a wall at super speeds because it just stopped.
And then what's
How is it solving the
what is
drone
this
problem?
solving? Yeah, what is this solving? Now we just have the Earth will burn because we're not
That's
moving
true.
fast enough.
Right, and then we don't have to restart the Earth's rotation, which means we have to watch the movie The Core and then reenact all the things that
No,
happened in the
We have to
Right.
get
So
Superman
wait,
to,
what you really
to fly.
We need to do away
movie
with
both things.
atmosphere. We need to do away with the ozone in the atmosphere and everything, so we're just in the vacuum of space.
You're a teacher, right?
I teach science. I don't teach science.
No, guys, seriously, if you keep digging down, you'll hit China. I swear. No, really.
It works. It's not in a movie.
I think if we just build the machine and then drop the machine, then we can make contact with the aliens.
Look, all of your solutions are ridiculous and would never work. That's why I think we just wait for the government to step in and take care of it because then that's a perfect solution that won't go wrong.
Everything's fine when the government takes care of it.
Yeah.
I mean, look at. Never mind.
The government solves issues like this.
I'm just saying. We had a lot of conversation about this. I'm still thinking that microwave and car batteries probably sounds the most plausible.
Go for it. Fucking, I'm tired of doing this show sometimes.
I'm gonna come out there. All right, I got my iPhone in my hand. All right, so Eric was telling me about the microwave battery.
Make sure to be live streaming it to YouTube, not of this way, because I want it to I want to see you die and not like have you die and then like have to
verify it?
find your phone and upload it myself.
Oh, it's okay. I let Sarah in on my Touch ID so she can unlock the phone.
Okay.
You got to make the call though. You got to call Sarah and be like, "Hey, can you? There's a video on Joe's phone. If you could just get that, that would be great." Just
I don't
make sure
think I'd do that.
You should though. I mean, like at least get some. If I die some sort of horrible death, leverage it and make yourself something out of it. I don't know if it's even possible, but just if there's anything you could do to help yourselves along, just please do it. I'm not here. I don't care. I think the billboard idea is still the best though. Support Joe's dead body by listening to his old podcast.
Yeah. My name's Joe, and I died doing what I love, being electrocuted.
Getting mauled by hell dogs.
Kind of reminds me of the time in D&D when we were playing against these giant slads.
Are you gonna go into a dissertation about your D&D?
No, I just wanted to make you make a weird face.
No, you can just say make a weird face. I do that on command.
Yeah, but I don't like. But then it's not genuine.
It's only genuinely weird when you talk about D&D.
Like you can't. Like somebody's like, what you need to do is laugh on command. So you're like, ha 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 ha. But it's not a real laugh. Everyone knows it's not a real laugh.
So there hasn't been one of those here in decades.
Now, for any of our listeners who don't know, a slad is kind of like a frog monster. It's like a bipedal frog that has a lot of. It's got like claws and sharp teeth, so it's not quite. It's not like a bullywog is just like a bipedal frog.
You know, that reminds me. That really reminds me of a fat crocodile. Honestly.
Yeah.
Eric, that reminds me of a fat crocodile.
Mm-hmm.
Eric, that thing you showed me in the picture, it reminds me of a fat crocodile.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I heard you.
Yeah. Isn't that the part where you make a transition into a story?
Speaking of cinnamon rolls, turns out past presidential hopeful and future presidential hopeful Mike Huckabee has decided to fund his campaign by doing anything, basically.
He sucks dick.
Well,
for money.
No, but he does things that are much like
hand jobs then? Reach around?
I was gonna say he does things that are worse, but I respect someone who sucks dick for money. That's a noble profession, you know.
I think
people
like,
want their dick sucked and they're willing to pay, and if you're willing to do it, that's more on kudos to you.
If you want to be president, I'm just saying, if you ran on a platform of sexual what is it? You know, like
promiscuity.
No, not promiscuity. The sexual favors. That's your platform. You just go around and, I mean, like.
You want our government to come in and fight your ISIS terrorists? Well, just blow me. Really? I don't mean like.
And then like people think it's like.
Do it.
People think it's like you're like being an asshole. It's like, no, really, like we could fucking do this here.
No, literally, I will commit the full force of the United States military-industrial complex if you suck my penis till I ejaculate. That's
easy. That's politics, all right? Like that's what you got to learn.
Mr. Gorbachev, give me a reach around. Apparently he's funding his campaign through just doing whatever, like being in like a commercial or something for this it's an infomercial that says that eating cinnamon rolls will cure diabetes.
Wait a second. Are these those famous diabetes-free cinnamon rolls? Diabetes-reversing cinnamon rolls?
The idea is that there's some active ingredient, because they can say that because that means absolutely nothing, that will cure diabetes. Because I guess Mike Huckabee has diabetes, and he promotes himself in this infomercial as former diabetic, because I guess he is. So basically, there's absolutely no science to cover it, and any doctor will tell you you're a fucking idiot if you're doing this shit. But so if you happen to be diabetic, feel free to eat all of the cinnamon rolls you want. Now, I know my cat is currently recovering from diabetes, but just in case, I'm going to just start forcing him to eat cinnamon rolls from now on, just so he doesn't ever regain his diabetes.
So
problem solved.
But then, so Mike Huckabee is hawking cinnamon rolls to cure his ailment of not being president.
Yeah.
What? This has to be a made-up story.
Not according to Salon.com or the New York Times.
Those are two names that I have heard before. They must be true.
Those rags full of just unsubstantiated stuff.
That's kind of like, once it's on Just Cool Enough, then it's news.
Yeah.
I didn't believe it, but then Eric said it. Now I believe it. I don't know. I still think this looks like... I mean, like, if anybody ate that many cinnamon rolls, I think they would look like a fat crocodile.
Yeah, but at least they wouldn't have diabetes. I don't know what you're talking about, this fat crocodile shit. But I think this infomercial doesn't go far enough. I think we here at the Just Cool Enough Labs are starting to really create. We're really pushing boundaries when it comes to curing diabetes, which is why we are introducing the officially branded Just Cool Enough frosting IV. We are literally selling bags of frosting, which and IVs that you injected. We also have what we call the reverse catheters, where you shove a catheter up your pee hole, but instead of peeing into it, you shove frosting into your bladder.
Well, in fact, that's what Eric. That's what Joe was talking about with the fat crocodiles. We had crocodiles that had.
Yeah, we've been
diabetes,
testing
and
it
we
a
used
lot
the reverse catheter on those crocodiles. And that's why they're fat. They're just a little bloated from all of the cream.
We've been testing it a lot. We were at the animal testing stage, and obviously crocodiles are the closest to humans in terms of genetics. You know, we are closer to crocodiles than we are any of the ape species.
Yeah, we tried pigs first, but they're delicious.
Yeah, we started feeding them just cinnamon rolls, Funyuns, also Ho-Hos, Twinkies, and stuff. And none of them got diabetes. And then we stepped it up by just liquefying these foods. And then that's when we went on with just this straight bag of frosting through IVs and then later catheters. And although these crocodiles gained intensely significant weight, none of them got diabetes. So we're very confident. We are currently working on our first big science journal that will be published in the coming months, so that the scientific community as a whole can it's going to peer review this study, and I'm incredibly confident that our findings are going to be found so scientifically valid that we are going to be posthumously given medals of honor, Nobel Peace Prizes, Freedom Prizes from America, and all be named Miss Universe, because it's going to be that groundbreaking of a scientific.
And to help stay the naysayers, as Joe mentioned, it didn't work on pigs. That's how we ended up with the Dunkin' Donuts maple bacon frosted crawlers.
Yep. See, we switched it up you have to calibrate it per animal. I mean, we tested with a lot of things. We fed lab rats Little Caesars bacon wrapped deep dish pizzas, and none of them got diabetes. But as I said, with the pigs, it's mostly maple donuts and stuff. None of them got diabetes. But crocodiles, any scientist will tell you, crocodiles are the closest to human beings ever, and also they're an ancient creature. They're basically living dinosaurs. So they've just lived it. So obviously, if we can't give them diabetes, then nobody can. And that's actually, we are rebranding the scientific branch of Just Cool Enough. That is actually our new motto. If we can't give you diabetes, nobody can.
We're actually absorbing a branch of Prescott Pharmaceuticals from Colbert. Because they've been defunct for a few months now, and we were actually it was really just their scraps of their shipping containers, but we got them. So this is
turns out also eating cardboard shipping containers does not give you diabetes. I mean, we haven't found a diabetic subject that has survived long enough to test whether or not he still has diabetes. Most of them seem to die from totally unrelated causes, very unrelated to consuming cardboard and styrofoam. They certainly didn't die of diabetes. They died of unrelated cardboard consumption diseases, which we have yet to work out the reasons for that. But when we do, we can start marketing that as a viable cure. But we think just the bag frosting.
I really think that we should do a little bit more testing. There are many more kinds of frosting we can use. Right now, we've only been using vanilla, but I think that some different frostings may have different effects. I meant to bring this up before the show, but when we were doing just new business. But we've actually been testing. We've been testing some of the new frosting. We believe that things like chocolate frosting, if entered in
intravenously or through the catheter interpenously has a very significant effect of reducing heart attacks.
Heart attacks. That's it's a medical thing.
In that people seem to not die of families who have a long history of heart disease and heart-related problems tend to not die from those. They tend to die from what we call chocoholic syndrome, or what we call chocolate artery system. But they're certainly not heart attacks that are killing them. So we think that that's a really big step forward in curing heart disease.
Well, I mean, and if you think about what a heart attack is, it's when the blood clots up in the heart, causing it to fail. But when you actually pump this frosting straight into the heart, the blood doesn't clot the heart.
It's
so
actually
they don't have a heart attack.
The syrupy mix of the frosting actually, what it's really good at is it gives
it's called viscosity. That's the scientific word for it.
No, it's not the viscosity. What it does is it gives the blood a nice sort of it reduces its pH, giving it a nice base pH balance, which helps to unclog the arteries, which is great. The only problem is it tends to dissolve the veins, arteries, and ventricles in the heart, which can lead to death from heart explosion. But it's
not a heart attack.
It's not a heart attack because the blood is getting there. It's just destroying the heart from the inside.
Right.
So it's not a heart attack.
Which is why we need to try the microwave car battery trick to soften up the internal guts. All right, listen, Mr. Scientist. Yeah. I know I'm an onlooker here.
No, the problem is we do the base solution that we are frosting we are pumping into their veins is softening up all of their internal organs. So we need to find a way to harden the organs. We've actually been experimenting with a sort of a 1-2 punch, if you will, of injecting them with like an epoxy resin, like a 2-part epoxy resin that'll meet in the heart and then bond, and then injecting the chocolate frosting, which then can't dissolve the heart now because it's now locked in place with epoxy. Again, that is technically still a heart attack because the heart stops, but that's mostly because of the epoxy and not the chocolate frosting.
I can't wait to hear back from our two doctors, Hansel and Gretel.
I'm sorry, Joe. And HR often tells me to relay this. It's Hansel and Gretel. Is how you pronounce it.
This is all happening at the Tom Wheeler School of Breast Detection.
No, that's the breast detection school. That's a civil service policing unit, with its main focus on breast detection and breast detection sciences. That's sort of your crime scene investigation, but more breast scene investigation. This is the other school. This is our school of scientific research. It's not really a school. It's more of a morgue where we do experiments. But the morgue business is booming. We have so many bodies.
I know. I can't wait to donate them to science.
We create so many bodies for science. It's all. I mean, many people have called it atrocious how many people die in our experiments. But we just like to think that that's more cadavers for kids to learn how to become doctors on. I mean, because
I think that we should stop sending kids these like small experiments in schools where they have to take apart frogs or owl pellets. We should send them actual human bodies.
We've got plenty to spare.
Like, is that part of the curriculum still nowadays, Ike?
Which part?
In your art classes, how often do kids have to dissect frogs?
We do it on a minute by minute basis. We're constantly dissecting frogs.
So they've dialed it back since I was in high school.
Yeah. We were realizing how fast we were going through frogs, so we had to cut the amount of frogs we dissect in half.
Yeah, I went to
we dialed it back.
Hey, what?
I don't know about you guys. I went to a very private high school where for 4 years I was kidnapped and held in a basement for a while and had to kill frogs for sustenance. So it was really an exclusive. I was the only kid.
There was frogs in the basement.
There was a couple of kids there. Well, it was in the bayous. I was taken and left in there for a while. But apart from that, yeah. So it was a very exclusive private high school that I went to.
No wonder you didn't meet your girlfriend there.
Yeah.
And that's where you had the drama class too. Like that's
Yeah.
just amazing to me.
Yeah,
You had a
well,
really good drama.
anything to escape the reality of being held in a basement in the bayou. So.
Wow.
Eric, have you ever thought about giving improv a try? You could be good at it.
Improv? I don't know. I'm not much of a comedy guy.
I think you're full. I think you're full of shit. So anyway, I don't even know where to go from there. But if you've made it this far into the show, you should probably consider donating because that means you can withstand our punishment each week here on Just Cool Enough. Go to justcoolenough.com, click the donate button, and give $2 to Eric for his improv routine.
Unless the only reason why you shouldn't donate to us is if you're a new listener, in which case you should tell at least 2 of your friends about us.
I mean, if you have already donated, you really should do that. We've actually been making a good effort here because this will be the second week that we actually play video games together after the show. If you want to join us for the live show, you can. It is at 7 p.m. Eastern. Figure it out on your own time for what your time is. And I think we're going to keep doing the game a week thing after the show, as long as Eric isn't too popular for us anymore.
You can also always send us an email to theshow@justcoolenough.com, which is our email address. We love reading your emails out and occasionally reading them out on air.
Yeah, that's great.
But it's time to stop talking about all this horse shit like fat crocodiles and drones and start plugging each other.
Oh, yeah!
My plug for this week is, I guess, Geek and Sundry, the YouTube channel, started doing Twitch stuff, and not just streaming video game, like some heavy mouth breather streaming some video game or some shit, but they actually are jumping into like actual shows. And one of them is called Critical Role. It's a D&D show with this group of players playing D&D. And what's really interesting about it is that all of the members are notable voice actors in anime and video games. So they're all really funny people. They all do great voices, and they apparently have been playing together for months. So they're all very close, and they already have very well established characters, and it's just really interesting to watch because they all do the voices, and their DM does a bunch of different voices. And I don't you probably wouldn't recognize any of their faces because they're voice actors, but they'll start talking, and you're like, oh, that's Jaina Proudmoore, or that's this I don't know.
That's awesome when that happens.
Yeah.
My plug for this week is it's actually a thing, and I don't usually do a thing, but it is the Elgato Game Capture HD60. I picked one of these up for work for doing some capture stuff, and it actually works.
I know it's not that kind of capture. Creeper.
For capturing people that walked by. Yes, it's like a bear trap. You got him! Alright, now give me a promotion, otherwise you'll lose your leg.
My leg!
Gah! No, it's
Okay,
Elgato Game Capture HD60. It's under $200 pretty much everywhere. I think it's like $170. But I don't know. It just works really well. It was dead simple to set up, and before you know it, you could stream and capture all kinds of good stuff. So I would totally recommend it.
Did you buy it?
Well,
or your company buy it?
Yeah, my work bought it. I just convinced them to buy it so I could do stuff with it.
So you got to convince them to get you Evolve.
I saw Yahtzee's review of Evolve, and I'm disappointed, guys. I thought since you guys played it and liked it so much, it was going to get a better rating from Yahtzee. So if it's not rated good on the Escapist 0 punctuation, then I'm not playing it. Ike, what do you got to plug this week?
This week I'm going to plug the movie on iTunes called Pride.
Pride and Prejudice?
Nope, just Pride. Pride.
What's it about?
It is about the LGSM, the Lesbians and Gays Support Minors, and it's a historical comedy.
I think it's called Milk.
No, it's about about a pride parade in the 80s or something in England or some shit. Seems interesting. I haven't seen it. It's got Bill Nye.
Going to have to watch that someday. So thanks for the heads up, Ike. Hey, what about that band you were promoting? A few
asked me to put up their other stuff, and I forgot about getting back to it.
I feel bad because you sent me the link, and then I lost the link immediately. What was that band?
Sick Vita, SIC space VITA, Sick Vita. They just put up their what I was talking about is they put up their first music video they've actually ever made, and so they were trying to get a lot of people to check it out just to get stuff out there. They tend to give away their music for free often, especially at shows, because they're trying to build a fan base. But they also the band frontman feels bad charging people money for their music.
That's a good way.
Pay money to get produced.
When I search, is it SITVITA?
SIC as in cat.
You know, sick. SIT.
Sit Vita.
I'm bad at hearing things.
You can check them out on Bandcamp, or if you put Sick Vita in Google with a space between the C and the V, you can find their third one down ad nauseum on YouTube.
I'll put it in the show notes right now since I said I was going to do that before, and then I fucked everybody over.
No, because I just looked at his Facebook where he already posted it last time and put it in there when he mentioned it the first time a couple of weeks back.
Oh, and anybody on the East Coast side of things who we have Anime Boston's coming up. If you're going to Anime Boston, you want to meet up, I'm getting some tickets to go, I believe, for the weekend because I am doing a coloring book for Anime Boston. So they're going to use a coloring book. Yeah, because they have a chibi zone for little kids. So they have a coloring book that they needed.
What zone?
Chibi, CHIBI. Is
it safe for work?
It's like Japanese. It means like little kids, you know.
Yeah. So they're asking me to do a little kids coloring book, and the first thing it was kaiju, which are like giant monsters like Godzilla and stuff, versus mecha, which are the giant robot things. So the first thing I came up with was like this really scary looking like spider creature, and I showed it to the guy who was like, who asked me to do it. He's like, "That's really cool." But I think that would scare the shit out of any kid trying to color it, so if you could tone it down a notch.
You're like, yeah, I'll draw a coloring book, and it's just like super graphic Hellraiser fan art of just like people's skin being ripped off and stuff. But yeah, that sounds cool. Also, I may or may not be going to PAX Prime this year. So
ooh, cool.
It's a bit of a ways off, but...
Yeah. What about you, Joe? You going to any kind of things too?
Why are you walking away from the computer? He's like, let me ask you this important question as I walk away.
He's got wireless headphones. He don't give
a fuck. Oh yeah, that's nice. But I don't know. I mean, I would like to go to stuff. I do plan on doing a quick California trip, maybe in the next 3 months or so. So. Oh, okay. This
is what they want. This is a mecha cat that I did, like a kitty. This is what they want. My original design drawing was like this thing here, and they were like, "Yeah, that's a bit too scary for like a kindergartner." Which is funny because I have access to kindergartners, and I went up to the kindergarten teacher and said, "Hey, would your kids like freak out if they have this in the coloring book?" And he's like, "Yeah, the fangs might be a little too big, but to be honest, no, it's pretty cool. I think they like it." I thought you
were gonna have like something super fucked up, like just like Clive Barker, or like I'll show you the pleasures of the flesh, like hooks in their face pulling. It's like, oh.
It's just the head that he thought would be a little too scary, which will only work if you're check out our YouTube video,
which we stream live. I thought it was gonna be at least as bad as Death Note, the anime Death Note stuff, like the Kinchi Gachis or whatever the fuck they were called. I don't remember.
Those weren't scary.
All right, well, speak for yourself, you manly man. Scared me a little bit. All right, I'm not going to say a little.
Me that we're still doing this show. Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. You can always find me on Twitter. I'm at Duncor, DUNCOR.
You could Fat Crocodile me on Facebook at facebook.com/Speedia40.
And you can follow me on Fitness Pals by typing myfitnesspal.com/Railvis because I've gotten back into it.
Ooh, nice.
And as always, we've got the website justcoolenough.com and the email address, theshow@justcoolenough.com.
Wait, what's just cool enough?
Yep. Feel free to send emails and all that shit. But until next week, have a wonderful weekend and fuck off.
Oh! Hey! Oh!